Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the most visually stunning and unsettling folk horror films of the decade, Midsommar. If you thought daylight meant safety, think again. From breathtaking cinematography to deeply symbolic storytelling, this film isn't just about terror. It's about transformation, grief, and finding belonging in the strangest places. So grab a seat, maybe some chamomile tea. Trust me, no special ingredients here. And let's break down the brilliance and eerie beauty of Midsommar together. As the movie opens, you'll notice a strange mural, almost like an ancient tapestry, telling a cryptic story. At first glance, it might just seem like decorative artwork, but trust me, this image holds the key to everything that unfolds in Midsommar. Every ritual, every shocking event, and every unsettling moment is hidden in plain sight, woven into this eerie painting. By the time the credits roll, you'll realize this picture was never just a background detail, it was a prophecy. So keep your eyes peeled because everything is about to make sense. When Florence Pugh's character, Danny Ardor, a college student, calls her parents, the call is routed to voicemail. She worries about Terry, her bipolar sister who recently left her a mysterious message. After that, Danny calls her boyfriend Christian Hughes, who is with his friends Pele, Mark, and Josh. While Christian tells Danny that this is just another one of Terry's outbursts, he also says that Danny is only encouraging Terry's behavior. She receives a call from an unidentified number after he hangs up. Pele says they will meet a lot of women during their upcoming trip to Sweden, Eastern Europe, and Josh and Mark believe Christian should just break up with Danny since it's obvious he's wanted out of the relationship for some time. Danny is crying hysterically when she calls Christian again. After Terry killed her parents by flooding the house with carbon monoxide, we watch as authorities enter Danny's parents' house, insert the tube into her mouth, and tape it there. To comfort her, Christian visits Danny at her apartment. Danny attempts to control her grief several months later. She meets Christian and his friends and finds out about their trip to Sweden for a midsummer celebration. The celebration, which lasts roughly 9 days, takes place every 90 years. Josh is especially intrigued because he plans to write about the experience for his dissertation in anthropology. Danny accepts Christian's invitation to be kind, but Christian believes she doesn't want to go because she's still in shock over the murder-suicide. Danny is more irritated, though, that Christian is just now telling her about the trip, even though they are scheduled to depart in 2 weeks. Christian goes to hang out with his friends, with Donnie. Pell discusses the midsummer celebration and their custom of selecting a May Queen at the conclusion of the celebration with Donnie. In an attempt to comfort Donnie over her loss, Pell explains that his parents had also died, but the mention of it makes her feel upset and she sobs in the restroom. Donnie goes on the trip with Christian and his pals. They meet an English couple named Simon and Connie, as well as Pell's brother Ingmar, when they drive out to the Harga. While the group consumes magic mushrooms, Ingmar gives Donnie a special tea because it tastes better. She accepts and at first finds the trip enjoyable. But then, Pell claims that the group is like his family. When Donnie hears the news, she decides to go for a walk. She begins to have a bad trip and becomes suspicious when she sees another group of high people laughing at her. Donnie hides in a shed, but she is embarrassed to see what looks to be Terry standing behind her. Before she faints, the trees seem to change around her as she dashes into the woods. Terry and their parents appear in her fleeting dreams. Donnie wakes up next to Christian 6 hours later. They join their friends in going back toward the village to meet the rest of the Harga community. Josh inquires about the many cultural aspects of the festival and the community, But when he asks about a mysterious golden teepee in the distance, he doesn't get a direct answer. A girl named Maya shows interest in Christian by playfully kicking him as he sits in a circle. Later, on Donnie's birthday, Pell gives her a drawing of herself. After she points out that Christian forgot their birthday, he compensates her with a piece of cake. Christian believes that they have only been together for a little more than 3 years, but Donnie corrects him, stating that they have been together for 4 years. After that, Pell takes his pals to their sleeping quarters. The group joins the community for a feast the next day. As the guests of honor, 2 of the oldest villagers, Ilva and the laborer, practice breathing techniques before the entire community follows them to the cliff's edge. As they pass the edge, the elders cut their hands. The newcomers are horrified to see Ilva's hideous, faceless skull as she plummets off the cliff and lands face first on a rock. Though he only breaks his leg, the laborer also jumps off. The villagers imitate the sounds of his agonized groans. His head is then smashed with a sledgehammer by 3 of the villagers. Danny returns to her room as Simon and Connie express their utter horror. Siv, an elder villager woman, tells the group that this is a normal part of their ritual because the 2 elders had reached what they believed to be the end of their life cycle and that it would have been detrimental to prolong it further. Thinking that Danny's distress is more related to her recent tragedy than to what she just saw, Pelle goes to console her. He tries to comfort Danny, but she feels that he should not be near her because Christian might enter. Then, based on his behavior around her, Pelle wonders how much Christian actually means to Danny. Later on, Danny dreams that Christian and his pals are going out without her. As she watches them leave in the middle of the night, she is tormented by visions of her deceased family members and the 2 elders' bodies. Simon and Connie decide to leave after what they witnessed. But just as Connie is about to leave, she is informed that Simon left with another villager to catch the train home. Connie walks off by herself because she is upset that Simon would go without her. Josh is not pleased when Christian tells him that he also wants to work on his thesis on the Harga. Instead of copying what Josh is doing, he contends that Christian can never just do his own thing. Christian offers to inquire with the elders about their permission to work together on the project. Later on, Josh finds out that the village's ritualistic activities are based on paintings created by a member named Reuben, a deformed boy who was the result of incest but is thought to be a seer of some sort. Josh requests to photograph Reuben's drawings, but he is not allowed to do so. In the center of the village, the elders' remains are interred. An ancestral tree is covered in their ashes, which Mark finds offensive. Ulf chastises him and actually sobs at the behavior. After being informed of the tree's significance, Mark reacts coldly to it. In another passage, Christian and Josh are informed that they can work together on their thesis, as long as they don't reveal the Harga's true names or location. Both of them concur. When Christian inquires about the village's mating customs and whether incest was common there, he is informed that while it isn't necessarily bad, outsiders are typically brought in to have children with the locals. Following a feast, Mark observes Ulf glaring at him with daggers. Danny also hears that one of the villagers took Connie to the station. The others never see Mark again after a female villager takes him away. Josh enters the room containing Reuben's book of paintings covertly later that evening to take photographs of the ancient scripture, as the request he made initially was denied. In there, he is interrupted by someone he believes to be Mark, but in reality, it was not him. At the final moments of the movie, it will be clear why Josh saw him as Mark. Then he was suddenly bludgeoned over the head from behind, and he was pulled off. Danny, Christian, and Pelle are informed the following morning that Reuben's book has vanished and Josh and Mark's disappearance seems suspicious. After that, Danny participates in a competition with the village women, in which they must dance around a maypole before one of them is eliminated. Danny discovers that she can converse with the other women in Swedish after using a drug. As the final contestant, Danny is crowned the May Queen. After that, Danny was praised by everyone and even passionately kissed by Pelle. At this time, it feels like something is odd with Pelle's actions towards Danny, but it will eventually be clear at the end of the movie. Christian is simultaneously given a drink that makes him trip. He is seduced and captured in order to steal Maya's virginity. While the other older females stand naked around them and imitate Maya's moaning, he has sex with her. So now, you will be confused why Christian was chosen to mate with Maya. As the Harga commune live in isolation, if they only had children within their existing group, their gene pool would become too limited, leading to potential genetic disorders and weaknesses. To prevent this, they occasionally bring in outsiders, like Christian, who was a perfect astrological match with Maya, to introduce new genetic material, ensuring healthier offspring and the survival of their lineage. Essentially, they manipulate reproduction to keep their community strong while maintaining their traditions. After that, Danny has a breakdown after she witnesses Christian having sex with Maya through a hole in the door after she returns. She breaks down in tears, and the other women follow suit, sobbing aloud with her. Following the climax, a mortified Christian rushes outside to look for Danny, only to find Simon's disfigured body being used as a blood eagle and Josh's leg buried in the ground. Shortly after, a villager finds him and blows powder in his face, knocking him out. As the ceremony comes to a close, the elders bring the drugged Christian and a villager named Torbjorn before Danny, who is expected to select a sacrifice. 9 people are to be sacrificed in accordance with tradition. This comprises Danny's chosen one, 2 living volunteers, 4 outsiders, and the 2 elders. She chooses Christian after everything she has been through. In order to place Christian inside the bear's corpse, the men in the village disembowel a fully grown bear. They take him, Ingemar, and the bodies of Mark, Josh, Simon, and Connie, which are stuffed with hay, to the golden teepee where they burn it. As I mentioned earlier in the scene where Josh sees someone who resembles Mark, now you can understand that it was a villager who had been wearing Mark's skin. Christian, who can only wheeze in agony and is unable to move or speak, gives in to his fate as Ulf screams in fear and Ingemar looks on. As the villagers imitate the screams, Danny seems to lose it over what is happening once more. But as she watches the teepee burn and listens to the villagers' collective cries, a sick smile starts to appear on her face. Midsommar is a chilling exploration of grief, toxic relationships, and the human need for belonging. Danny, suffering immense loss, finds solace in the Horga commune, where disturbing rituals blur the line between healing and horror. Pelle, who was Christian's friend, also plays a major part in dragging Danny to the Horga commune to find her solace and free her from all the lies others have been showing her. Whether through love or manipulation, he secured her place among the Horga, transforming her grief into acceptance. And with Danny crowned as the May Queen, Pelle didn't just bring a guest, he delivered their new queen. Her transformation into the May Queen symbolizes her break from a neglectful past, embracing a new, unsettling family. The film's eerie daylight aesthetic and unsettling symbolism challenge viewers to rethink the nature of control, sacrifice, and acceptance.